Hello there. Welcome to another character design session. I call this character Rocket Rabbit. So unfortunately, I didn't record the making of Rocket Rabbit, another rookie mistake. So instead, I'll be showing you the process that I went through from beginning to end with the individual layers that I worked on. I started off with sketching the character using a pencil type brush with an orange color. Some people like to use a light blue color for their sketches, but I prefer orange. It sticks out a bit more. It's easier to see. So I don't really have a reason why I chose to draw a rabbit. On top of that, a rabbit strapped to a rocket. I guess I have been looking into cryptocurrency lately and have been reading a lot of to the moon comments. So that may have influenced me, at least on the rocket portion side of things. After completing the sketch and outlining Rocket Rabbit with vector lines, I noticed that something was off. It turns out that the rocket and the wings were tilting at a weird angle, which threw off the entire image. I was able to correct the angle of the wings using a technique that I recently learned. I'm not sure if it's a technique really or a theory. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's called art perspective, which is where you're working off a grid. These are the lines that make up the grid that I created. And that grid was based off the center line of the rabbit. For the most part, I didn't want to overthink it. I didn't want to worry about being too precise, which at times I can get too worried about being too precise or about being perfect. And when that happens, I usually end up making things harder than it needs to be. So I just tried a few different angles and went with what looked best. I'm still not sure if the angles are as good as it could be, but it looked better than what I had before. So I guess it worked. Next, I re-outlined the sketch with vector lines, and after completing the outline, I found the character to still look a bit off. The problem, as it turned out, was the same one I had before. The angles. This time though, it was more so the rocket that was off. The wings were pretty much on point. I thought I did a good job fixing the angles while I was resketching, but I guess I was wrong. Sometimes that happens. During the vector outlining process, I continued to change the look of the rocket, but this time around, I decided not to go back and resketch the entire rocket. Instead, I decided to fix the rocket by readjusting the vector lines. And I did this because I had this thought. I already resketched it once and it didn't turn out as I wanted it to. So instead of resketching it, let me just try moving the vector lines around. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go back and resketch it. That reminds me of a quote. I think it's by Albert Einstein. It goes like this: insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And I wasn't trying to go insane, so luckily for me, adjusting the vector lines worked out. As you can see, the vector lines of the rocket doesn't follow the sketch at all. And sometimes it be like that. Sometimes. And finally, I colored it in, shaded it, and here you have it. Rocket Rabbit. To the moon we go. Thanks for listening. Go forth with love. Peace out.